Hello, everybody out there who finds this stream tonight or later, whenever. Oh my gosh, there's already 5 people? That's unheard of. Welcome, everybody. Oh, hey, Becca. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Um, and we got conspiracy here. And Welsh News Network, Dan is here. Wow. I am kind of surprised. I don't usually have people show up. So that's unexpected, and welcome, everybody. So, like the title says, is there such a thing as a blue striped terror flag? A couple of days ago, or maybe yesterday, uh, the self declared brilliant constitutional law scholar was going on about the blue terror flag and how much he hates it. And in case you don't know who I'm talking about, let me just play you a quick message from him. And if you haven't, and I think that you do want to follow the instructions he's about to give you, because he is the man, and you want to listen to what he has to say. So, without further ado, I'm going to let him tell you something that is very important, and you should listen to. If you don't listen to anything else that Jose Maria DeCastro says, you should listen to this.
What's going on, Madison? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see everybody. You guys got to hit the like button. And then for the 10 people in here, because we're just starting off a little slow this morning, let me know where you guys are watching from. And I'm going to.
So, the main thing there is hit the like button. Because, well, he tells you to, so you should hit the like button or button. So, anyhow, I was watching someone else's stream. In fact, Welsh News Network is what I was watching in the background at work, because I was in my office by myself. And when I'm by myself, I haven't been banned from watching things involving Chilito. And I'm banned just because my main coworker can't stand listening to his idiocy as he's jabbering on. But during this live stream, he kept bringing up the blue striped terror flag, or the blue line terror flag, in reference to this. This is the blue line terror flag in Chilito's world. He likes to claim that it is a desecration of the American flag because they put a blue line on a black and white image or a black and gray image. Like I mentioned in another stream, two of the twice a week, as I mentioned previously, has a giant American flag hanging on it and a giant blue line flag hanging on it next to each other. So I've driven by this thing over and over, haven't really given it much thought. I know some officers, I'm friendly with a number of policemen, and they are all men, just by coincidence. None of them, as I recall, really wear this or interact with this thing, but I'm aware of the symbol. And Jose Maria Chilito DeCastro is absolutely obsessed with it. In fact, he's so obsessed with it that during the live stream that I was watching, over and over and over, he showed this clip of him tearing down a memorial that someone had put up, presumably to a deceased police officer. As far as I could tell, he didn't know the context. He didn't know who the guy was that died. Yeah, far from a terror symbol. And what I want to do is I'm gonna do a little bit of research on this thing, because I haven't, and just talk about what I find. But first, I'm going to show. If you watched Welsh News Network earlier today, or if you watched Chilito's stream, you've seen him you've seen this clip before, and you've seen him go on about how proud he is about this vandalism he's doing on a roadside memorial that he knows jack all about. And there's two clips. I'm going to play both of them. He's very proud of them. Kept showing them over and over. So here's the first one.
No, no, no. I'm sorry. I apologize. It ain't gonna work. It's not gonna do. Sorry. Someone died? Sorry to hear that. Things are rough? Sorry to hear that.
Proceed to the root.
Yeah. We're done with this. Fuck you. Piece of fucking shit. Burn in hell. No.
Okay, so this asshole doesn't know who died, doesn't know who put up the memorial, doesn't know a goddamn thing. At least based on what I'm seeing here, I can only assume. And since he didn't give any context in any of his masturbatory celebrations of these clips in his live stream, I have no reason to think that he does, that he did know any of the context or anything about who this person was. And yeah, as far as I know, conspiracy, it has nothing to do with the terror symbol, except in the mind and diseased imagination of DeCastro and people like him. But, so, there's this clip. Oh, by the way, you guys in the side chat, if you could just, sound like Chilito here, but I've been having a lot of trouble with the video not going out properly, with sound dropping and stuttering, and this may be my last attempt to do a live stream. I may just record things and put them up because I don't seem to have a stable enough connection to do live streams. So if you would just tell me when, if the graphics get all screwy or the audio is awful, just let me know so I don't find out later, and so I can just decide up front that, all right, this is a waste of everybody's time. So, clip number one. Clip number two, oh crap. Did it really just go all the way back to the beginning? Yes, it did. All right, well, clip number two is the one he was super proud of. He tears down the memorial again, and then because whoever has it put up another blue line flag because it's their memorial. Sound of it is all good. 5x5, yes. Thank you, Dan. So I'm not gonna play the second clip. You can go watch Chilito play it over and over on his stream, or go watch the latter half of the Welsh News Network stream from today, and you'll see him playing it and showing you his crotch at the same time. But he claims this is a terror symbol. He claims it's a desecration of the flag. He wants everybody to campaign to ban it because he finds it offensive. And he believes that there are thousands of people out there who find it offensive. Well, a little bit of preliminary research here. Didn't do a whole lot because I literally get home 20 minutes before I schedule these streams to go on. But I found this guy, Professor Walker. I know nothing about him. He's probably just another internet scholar. But what he was saying reflected more of what I seem to know about the law and the Supreme Court decisions regarding this sort of thing. And that is that, unlike Chilito's claims, this is not flag desecration, because as a constitutional scholar, he should be aware of this, I would think. The Supreme Court has ruled that there is no such thing as flag desecration. So once again, delete laws wants to delete some laws and I guess reinstate others or keep others there, because the Supreme Court ruled a long time ago. Maybe this guy has the case listed. No, he doesn't. But this, I'm just going to play this clip from this guy. Then I'm going to go start research the evil, vile flag that thousands of people, according to Chilito, find offensive, and therefore it should be banned.
Well, change.org put a petition up to try to ban the flying of these flags. And out of a country of 327 million people, only 1,200 people signed that petition. So I don't believe that it's offensive to a very large group of people. I believe it's a very tiny group of people that are then trying to impose their will and their belief that this flag is offensive on a much larger majority.
So that, is pretty much, as my impression, that is kind of Chilito's thing. He's a small man who has a small following that wants to try to impose his will on a much larger group of people. So the majority of Americans seem to be smart. They don't think that this is some sort of terror symbol or flag desecration. In fact, my basic instinct was looking at this, and I said this I think it was over in Welsh News' side chat, I don't see how this could be flag desecration because this is not an American flag. This is black where it would be blue or red, right? So it has the pattern of the American flag, but it's not the American flag. And even if it is the American flag, like I said, Supreme Court ruled in the early 70s, I think it was, I can look that up too, that laws against flag desecration are unconstitutional because they're a violation of the First Amendment. Now, of course, we know, if you know anything about Mr. DeCastro, he has nothing but contempt for the First Amendment, except where he's concerned. Then everything's fair game, but for anyone else, he gets to dictate what isn't protected speech. Now, this is not the only variation on this that I've come across. I've seen this in the lobby of a supply store, uniform outlet in my area called Galls, Galls. And this one, they kind of have all of the various, protective services or public safety occupations that they recognize on this flag. They've got security, private security. They've got the armed forces. They've got corrections, the people in the jail and the prisons. They've got law enforcement, the blue line here. Got emergency dispatchers and police dispatchers, the fire departments, and EMS. So emergency medical. This one must really have Mr. DeCastro. If he sees this one, he must really be, seriously shitting himself if he comes across this. Or is it just this that is horrible and offensive? I don't know. I don't know what you people out there might think. So this is just a setup. I do not consider this to be a terrorist symbol. I don't consider it to be offensive, except for thin-skinned idiots who are looking to be offended. But I am coming at this just from my own point of view. Haven't really looked into it, so I don't know. And unlike the self-satisfied scholar, I actually do research once in a while because I used to be a journalist, a real journalist, not a pretend journalist like Chilito. I actually had to have sources and had to do research and make sure I wasn't just talking out my ass like he does. But I'm not going to go deep into this. My quote research has been a Google. Has just been a Google. I typed in, it's still up here on the screen actually. I typed in thin blue line into Google, and this is the first hit that I got back, just this page here. And actually, I did what he suggested his followers should do. Except he said that, what do you say? Go Google Los Angeles thin blue line terrorist or something like that. No. I'm going to try to get the context of this flag. Let's see here. What does a thin blue line flag mean? Okay, let's just start with the very basic. Well, there's something here. There's an article from Politico. The short, fraught history of the thin blue line, American flag. I think that's what that says if I click on it. But we're going to start with a slightly more neutral source, I think. So, in summary, the thin blue line symbol has been, quotations, has been used by the Blue Lives Matter movement, which emerged in 2014 as a rebuttal to the Black Lives Matter movement. And it gained traction following the high-profile homicides of NYPD officers Rafael Ramos, New York Police Department, Rafael Ramos, and Wen Jianliu in Brooklyn, New York. If memory serves, they were sitting in their patrol car. A real terrorist walked up, or I guess a peaceful protester walked up and shot them as they were sitting in their patrol car. Which, of course, would have Mr. DeCastro cursing at them and wishing they would burn in hell because, well, he's that kind of fuckhead. It might be offensive if I ram it down his feckin' throat. Yeah, could be. Be an offensive action, that's for sure. So that is just a one paragraph there. Is the thin blue line flag banned? Los Angeles Police Department has banned the display of thin blue line flags due to complaints from the community from some people who believe the symbol has been hijacked by extremists and white supremacists. Okay, well, that may or may not be the case, but given what we heard Professor Walker say, Change.org, someone tried to get public support behind banning it completely and got 1,200 signatures out of 325 million. Yeah, doesn't seem like there's a lot of people who believe that it is some sort of terroristic or white supremacist symbol. But let's see. Wikipedia. In deference to the grand scholar that is Jose Maria Chilito DeCastro and his subscribers, in case some of them come by. Oh, and if some of them do come by and you're here during the live stream, you're welcome to make comments in the side chat. Unlike the scholar, I won't ban you for saying things that I don't agree with, or for, even being rude. You can be rude if you like. Because I am not afraid of conversation. I'm not afraid of talking to people or listening to people if they have something vaguely intelligent to say. Or even if it's not intelligent, if it's just funny or I disagree with it, that works for me too. And we're going to put this up here. All right. So this is where Hank is going to make me remember how to give people wrenches, because I will give you a wrench if I can figure out how. Let's see. So we'll take a brief break here before I start reading Wikipedia, and we will figure out how to give Hank a wrench. I think actually I remember how to do it. Let's see, YouTube Studio. I think, no, that's not it. I just go to my channel actually. Channel. No, that's not it. There we go. We're gonna have me infinite voices. Let's see. Moderation activity is now hidden. What? This includes messages that are held for review, blah, 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 or removed by the moderator. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, well, Okay, so I will give Hank's Corner a blue wrench because he has a link that we should see. And because I trust that he won't be randomly banning people and doing stuff. Add as... I don't know the difference here. If this doesn't work for you, Hank, let me know. But that should be a blue wrench, I think. You are now a moderator on my channel. Let me go back where I can actually see the chat. Oh, there we have Hank. Let me turn on the volume so I can hear.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey. Oh, yes, I can. There's a slight lag.
Let me turn on the volume so you can hear. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Maybe I shouldn't have turned the volume up. Let me turn that back down. This is weird.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't have turned the volume. I used to be able to... Maybe it'll stop. Now, first volume is breaking up. Oh gosh, what is going on?
I do not know.
Oh gosh, what is going on? Oh, I know. I just figured it out. There. That should solve the problem.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, the window I used to go in and give you the wrench, I, like an idiot, did close it out. It's amateur hour here tonight. Welcome. Yeah.
There is a TxDOT link, how he's claiming this is a state-funded memorial that he keeps stealing the flag from.
Let's see that. Oh, let's not do that. Let me close that. For God's sakes. Yeah. Let me... I did this the other night where I got a window open. I couldn't close it.
Just a second. Let me try it this way.
No, I got it. I just need to go back to this window and mute it, and then it'll work. There we go.
Do you see the screen I'm sharing?
There we go. And hang on. There we go. And I'm going to have this weird sound again for a moment. All right. There it is. And actually, let me go. Problem is, I have two monitors, and let me move this over here. There we go. And let me get back to the screen. I can see what's going on. And
all the way down at the bottom of that document, the last paragraph is the one that pertains to the roadside memorial for fallen officers.
Memorial markers for peace officers. Special program that allows Texas Department of Transportation to place privately funded memorials honoring peace officers killed in the line of duty. Yep. So this is memorial markers for peace officers, and it specifically says privately funded memorials, which is
not state funded.
The opposite of what Mr. DeCastro kept insisting on his.
Yes.
Yep.
So he is guilty of vandalism, theft, and possibly destruction of property.
Yep. Yeah, that's that actually I was going to go on a rant about that if I hadn't stupidly gotten away from the second video that he had of him doing that, because that's exactly my interpretation, that he was vandalizing someone's memorial that he didn't know why it was even there. But yeah, Texas Department of Transportation may execute an agreement with a nonprofit corporation to fund, install, and maintain memorials. Marked memorials are addressed in blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so had nothing to do with government funding.
Yep.
That memorial. So thank you, Hank, for pointing that out. because again, it just shows what an ignorant buffoon the guy is.
I was wanting to pull it up for Dan's show, but my hands were a bit tied because I was streaming streaming
Yeah,
the
you're running the
video we're watching.
you're running the video portion. It seemed like, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Oh, okay. I just skimmed the first paragraph, and I'm not seeing anything that I didn't already kind of know. Because I actually think I think part of this you guys were talking about, and that Professor Walker guy talked about it in his video. I should just have watched his video, huh? Because that's what a scholar does. They YouTube University, right?
Well, if they had taken an actual American flag and just placed a blue line on it, then you might have a case for desecration of the flag. But it's not cut and dry.
Right. Yeah.
But
yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
By taking the flag and changing it to black and white, now it's an emblem that resembles the American flag, but has not ever been an American flag with a blue line on it. So it's just a similar flag.
Yep, exactly. Even if you want to disregard the and this is even perfect here because you have other countries that have done the same kind of thing.
And states.
Let's see. But yeah, the initial here that the whole thing originates way back during the which I actually found interesting. It was originally the Thin Red Line, which was during the back in 1854 during the Crimean War. Scottish Highlanders were over there, and then in the 1950s, Los Angeles Police Chief Bill Parker coined the phrase "the Thin Blue Line," standing between Americans and chaos, he said. And then in 2014 is when it sort of reemerged, as I was reading before, because of the homicides of those two cops. And then it says here it's been associated with white nationalists, particularly after the Unite the Right rally. I don't know. Again, I will continue here, but my immediate gut reaction is that's the same thing. The defense there that one would mount would be the same one that was mounted, like I mentioned before, during the protests here in Seattle in 2020. Rioters tried to burn down the building I work in, and all over the news, people were talking about the peaceful protesters and the peaceful protests. Meanwhile, I'm looking at security footage that shows them out there trying to set the building on fire. So didn't look very peaceful to me. Same thing here. If we're going to separate out the quote peaceful protesters from the rioters and the arsonists, wouldn't it be just as reasonable and sensible to separate out the people who, like, well, most police officers that just want to show their support for their service, separate them out from any white supremacists or bad actors that have appropriated the symbol? You can't really have it both.
The Klan likes to use the American flag. Does that mean the American flag is a racist symbol now?
Right. Exactly. That's the kind of logic that seems to be missing in some people. Let's see. 1922 actually was when it was. Okay, on record, first time it was actually a New York City Police Commissioner that used it in 1922. I didn't realize it went that far back. So, so it's just it was a 100-year anniversary of the Thin Blue Line, I guess, last year. A little bit of trivia there. And I should probably stop hiding myself behind the screen, huh? This is too small for anybody to read anyway, so let me. How do I change this? There we go. Don't want to make it too tiny, Hank, but it's my show.
With me just having an avatar up, it doesn't really matter.
Yep. Let's see. As Parker explained, the Thin Blue Line representing the LAPD was the barrier between law and order, and social and civil anarchy. Yeah. Oxford Dictionary records its use by the Sunday Times, referring to police presence at an anti-nuclear demonstration as the Thin Blue Line. And then an author popularized the phrase by using it in his police novels during the 70s and 80s. And in 1988, Errol Morris used it in a documentary film.
Come on, we'll go outside.
So, symbols and variations. We looked at these already. The idea has caught on in other nations. The Blue Lives Matter movement was created in December 2014 after the homicides of New York police detectives Ramos and Liu. I keep butchering Asian names. I'm bad. But yeah, this is something else that I didn't. Again, hate to rag on the law scholar, but these were homicides. People sitting in their car, and a guy walks up and just shoots them.
Yes.
Premeditated, out and out murder. Straight up homicide.
The officers in Memphis, that would be homicide.
Yep.
There are bad police officers out there. Nobody in their right mind will deny that, but
yeah, every you find that every profession, they unfortunately, when they end up as police officers or soldiers or anyone that the rest of us look to for protection and security, it's super bad. That there's no question about that. But to say all cops are bad, that phrase pisses me off. That ACAB nonsense. And him tearing down that memorial and cursing someone that he has no concept of, no idea of what's going on.
Can you imagine what their family is going to go through if they see that video?
Yeah, it's terrible. Absolutely, just a reprehensible human being.
Mm-hmm. And he's so proud of the fact that video is about to go viral.
Yeah, that's what got me. Again, I confess I don't understand his mindset a lot of the times, but I would have a really hard time being proud of going into hysterics. Because, well, was he really going into hysterics, or was he just showboating for the camera? Was he just putting on an act? There's the optimistic part of me that likes to think that he's just a straight up con man and grifter, and it's all an act. And then there's the somewhat more realist in me that is saying that how could someone keep up behavior like that? Especially, I was actually having a conversation about him with a psychologist friend of mine, and I was describing him as a malignant narcissist, and she was saying that no, she thought he was just well, they don't really use the term sociopath anymore, but that's kind of what it sounded like to her. And then she went and watched a few of his videos. I mean, this was back when he was going on live streams in the airport and just being completely insane. And then the next time I had lunch with her, she was saying that yeah, your friend Chilito has some serious issues, and that I came back around to that he does have men. Yeah, her. Anyhow, now I'm just completely off the reservation, off topic here. But what is this? The indestructible. Oh, oh my God! I saw where you got that image from when I was looking for his.
Yeah, I fixed it for Chili.
Yeah, but this
How
is
do
the
I get
guy.
this?
It goes back to me seeing him as just a complete and total hypocrite. This is the guy who is suing people for stealing my content, and quoting him, and he claims I quoting him out of context and distorting his mission and
Ziggy,
everything.
turn off the kitchen light.
Okay.
And was
Yeah,
that Alexa that I heard there?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let me
So you
get the mic to. It's
called her
not going through
Ziggy.
the right mic.
And there he is he's appropriating what's his name? I'm blanking. Sorry, the guy that did the hilarious trifold bit. Uh,
Um, uh, Gunner,
Gunner,
Gunner
yeah,
TV.
and turning a critical. It's funny that he turned a critical bit into an ad. I have to admit I found that kind of funny. But coming from him, it comes more off as hypocritical, just the way he behaves about his own content. So I don't know, but I guess it means the lawsuit is off. Because I don't know what grounds it would be on at this point.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, got the sound set up right.
Okay.
First time on this restream, so I had to get all the settings.
Oh, okay. So you're what do you guys use over there typically on
StreamYard.
StreamYard? Okay.
It's similar to this setup, but different.
Yeah. All right. So the appearances and controversy on this flag. Thin blue line represents an us versus them mindset that highlights tensions between officers and citizens and negatively influence police community interactions by setting police apart from society at large. Well,
Depends on the mindset of the person viewing the flag.
yep, that's what I was about to say. Seems to me the one that sets them more apart than anything else would be people yelling at them and calling them pigs and uh, oppressors, whatever the hell else that our boy does when he is interacting with police. Oh, and yeah, Brazos, yeah. There are bad constitutional law scholars. That is correct. But our boy Chilito isn't one, right? No, of course not. Many groups view it as a symbol of opposition to the racial justice movement. The Canadian Anti-Hate Network has stated that it often encounters thin blue lines and back the blue symbols on social media pages by hate groups. Well, yeah, and I see Black Lives Matter symbols on Facebook pages that talk about wanting to kill white people. Does that mean that Black Lives Matter is a racist supremacy movement? Let's see. Yeah, white supremacists were documented carrying thin blue line flags along Confederate battle flags. and Nazi flags. Yeah. And then they go down a list of controversial appearances. In 2016, counter-protesters carried the black and white U.S. flag. It's not a U.S. flag symbol. It's black and white. The colors are wrong. It's not a U.S. flag. Okay, Portland, Oregon, in the courthouse, they removed the Blue Line flag after gaining notoriety because of the Charlottesville situation. 2019, Thin Blue Line American flag was put up by residents of York, Maine to pay tribute to a local officer who was shot and killed in line of duty decades earlier. Due to accusations of racism from members of the York Diversity Forum, Charlie Black, the son of the fallen state trooper, subsequently took the flag down. So accusations were made and the flag came down. May 31st, 2020, Hamilton County Sheriff's Department flew the flag. It's in Cincinnati, Ohio. Flew the blue flag in place of the American flag in response to the George Floyd protests. The department tweeted the original flag had been stolen and the flag was in honor of Cincinnati Police Department officer during the unrest. Okay. July 2020, blue light flags were removed from the Massachusetts fire trucks after controversy about whether it's a salute to police officers or has a divisive political message. Some townspeople had confused the flag with the genuine Thin Blue Line flag. So I guess there's Blue Lives Matter flags. So this is a Blue Lives Matter flag? Okay.
Well,
huh.
the blue line flag that was used by the racists was just a flag with a blue line, wasn't it?
Well, let's see if there's a picture because oh yeah, I think you're right. It was more like I closed the window. Oh well. More like the thing that Professor Walker was showing in the background. It had the red and blue and orange or red, whatever that was. But yeah, let's see if we have because that's the flag I've seen all over the place is that black and white one with the blue stripe. I haven't actually seen a modified American flag.
I've seen a few, but because it's controversial for it, whether it's desecration of the flag or not, they've just gone to the black and white representation of a flag.
All right, I've seen this one, which is sort of a slightly grungy flag, but that's also black and white. I also will admit my problem is I don't always see colors right. So sometimes I might be looking at something and it's but that's very much black and white. Huh. Oh, that's cute.
Well, the red, white, and blue, I didn't see any blue stripe.
Yeah. Yeah, there wasn't. That was just I don't know if
It just looked like an American flag.
Yeah. Walmart. That's a Walmart thing, and they're selling Thin Blue Line and American flag in a package together. So you can get both flags together. At Walmart. Shop smart. Shop Walmart. I'm still going for that sponsorship. Okay, come on, close or not. There we go. All right, so let's see here. We have. What's this? Is this it? Nope. That's also just the. Huh. Oh. Nope. See, I actually don't. I'll admit I don't remember what they were flying at that rally. Here's one made out of wood.
Yeah. I
Okay.
only see the bottom of it.
Oh. Oh, that didn't work.
Wrong way.
Yep. There we go. So yeah, I was so busy looking at over here, I forgot to look over here.
Yeah,
Someday
and that's
I will learn how to
definitely not.
do.
Well, that's definitely not a desecration because that's not a flag.
Right.
Even if it was red, white, and blue, it is a artist rendering of what a flag would look like, but it's obviously wood.
Yeah, actually, a lot of the people that want to quote the again, correct me if I've gotten it wrong. I don't think correct me if I've gotten it wrong. But when people talk about, oh, that's flag desecration, for example, the bathing suits or the T-shirts or the hats with a flag on them.
As long as you don't make it out of an actual flag.
Thank you. That is exactly my interpretation when I read the flag code. That if you make it with that pattern on it, it's not desecration of the flag. If you take the flag and you literally wrap yourself in it, that's desecration of the flag. Because don't wear it like a cape or a suit of clothes, but you can make the pattern. So, but yeah, this is definitely not anything that would be even remotely close. Um, okay, oh wait, here it is. Here it is. That
I've never seen that one before. They
yeah.
put a black line above and below the blue line. I've seen the American flag with just a blue line.
Let's see what that is. Um, okay, somebody was selling that, but it's no longer available. So
And that would not be a desecration of the flag. It's just a close representation because that was never
right,
an actual flag.
they manufactured it to look like this. Um, yeah, if you were to go out and start a country and make this your flag, I don't know, as for example. But yeah, this is not flag desecration either. Um, well, maybe that's what those guys had at their rally. Oh wait, no, what's this? Nope, that's the black and white one still. So was it Charlottesville? Was that where they had the flag?
I think that's what you said.
I'm gonna get myself an FBI watch list. Oh, I'm already on a dozen of them probably. The problem with being a writer and doing Google searches. All right, here we go. Let's see what that is. No, they've got the black and white flag.
It's just a back the blue rally.
Yeah, that's not what I was looking for. So let's try. Did I misspell Charlottesville? I think I did.
I couldn't see it.
Is there a better arrangement that I can do here? Let's see. Nope. I need to change my setup so the screen that I'm playing with is the. Can I make this bigger? There we go. Is that better? No, it's still.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, I left out an S. Let's go Charlottesville. See if that gives me a better hit. Let's see. Yeah, they're all the black and white one. Now there they go, desecrating the thin blue line flag.
Um,
Sorry to anyone that likes Trump out there, but yeah. But that's not it. I mean, this is a completely different rally of some sort.
yeah, my opinion, I mean, Trump had his flaws, but he wasn't near as bad as mass media want him to be portrayed.
Oh no, I agree with you 100%. Um,
I don't know if
and
we'll ever have him admit the truth of good things that he did. I'm grateful for the work he did with the VA.
hmm yep. Oh no. And all that nonsense with Russian collusion and racism against China, all that was just complete nonsense.
Or every time you turn around, they're taking sound bites out of context and running their own narrative.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, but the Trump bandwagon was doing the same thing. Um, so
Yeah.
it's
My major problem with Trump was his behavior, frankly. Uh, I
he
know,
did not act presidential. That's for sure.
yeah, that was exactly it. And um, I mean, I was saying rude things about Trump before it was popular to do it, um, and it was just his behavior that I was basing it on. Um, but I will confess, I did vote for him when the Democrats nominated Joe Biden.
I,
uh,
yeah. Well, both elections, I voted for him both times. I definitely not a fan of Hillary's.
yeah, I forget who I voted for that first time around. Um, I think I may just literally have thrown my vote away by voting for some third party candidate that didn't have a chance. I don't even remember, to be honest with you, because I like neither Hillary nor Trump.
Yeah.
Um, but I've never skipped an election, even though sometimes like I said, throw my vote away. I still
I,
remember.
I
Go ahead.
when was the last election for you that you weren't voting for the lesser of two evils?
Oh my. I don't think there's been one.
I truly supported Reagan. I thought he was the best choice for my vote, and Bush Senior.
Oh yeah,
But
actually,
since then, ever since Bush Senior left office, it's been voting for the lesser of two. Well, I voted for Bush Senior that when he lost to Clinton.
yeah, yeah. I think that was no, it was the second Clinton term where I because he had two terms, right? I'm not.
Uh huh.
Yeah, second Clinton term. That one is where I just straight up threw my vote away because
Yeah.
there was a guy named Bo Greitz who was running for president in Utah, and I thought it would be hilarious for him to show up in the polls as even getting enough votes to show up. So I had to vote for him, despite spending months writing columns about how people should take the election seriously and not vote party lines, but study carefully and understand the candidates. And all the while, I'm looking at it going, I don't know. I don't like any of these people. So I'll vote
I
Bo Grice. But I know he won't have a chance of winning, but I'll laugh when he gets like 4% or whatever. And I think that's what he got.
well, it wasn't any help that Perot was running.
Yeah. 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 Wasn't a huge fan of him either. Um,
No, he just screwed up the election.
yeah. But yeah, I was actually just nervous enough about Perot that you know was afraid he might take it because there was enough chatter about him, at least in my area that I was a tiny bit worried, but Bogue writes, I just thought was funny. Let's see. You want to try voting for Trudeau and then think Trump ain't so bad? No.
Was Trudeau was that crazy Canadian, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's still. I mean, he's still your guys' prime minister up there, right, Dave? He's the uh, basically ultra COVID lockdown guy. Wanted to uh, bring out the military against those truckers that were protesting outside of I think it was Ottawa. Um, he's the guy with the blackface scandals. He dressed up like an Indian Raja or something. Those pictures came out when he was on a uh, everybody's racist kick. Trump is racist, everybody's racist, and then they found these old pictures of him dressed up in blackface. But yeah, that's Trudeau. Um, my impression of him is he's sort of the uh, a left winger with a totalitarian bent. Uh, but wow, this turned into a political stream. How nice. Uh, I guess, well, it all depends whether you view the thin blue line thing as political or not. It certainly has become that. There's no question about that. Let's see. Yeah, he makes Biden look conservative, and yes, blackface and wearing women's Indian dress for 3 days in India. Yeah, his whole family, I think, dressed up in native garb, if I'm recalling the picture correctly. Um,
Well, at least you could have gotten a male attire.
yeah, someone might have thought it was funny to give him the wrong outfit.
Quite possible.
Yeah. Speaking of Canada, injunctions against use thin blue line imagery in Canada in October of 2020, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police issued a directive banning the wearing or displaying of symbols related to the thin blue line by officers who are on duty. This directive was opposed by the National Police Foundation, the police union that represents RCMP officers. In retaliation, the union ordered thin blue line flags for all of its officers to wear against RCMP orders. On June 5 of 21, RCMP officers engaged in removing the protesters at Fairy Creek. They were criticized for wearing thin blue line patches. Okay. I don't know what the Fairy Creek situation was. They're protesting old growth logging. Looks like Native Americans or people cosplaying, but probably Native Americans. Victoria Police Department also banned thin blue line flags from their officers' uniforms shortly after the RCMP did it. And then police forces in neighboring British Columbia also confirmed the injunction in a Saanich, I guess how to be pronounced. Although it's probably an Indian name. If it was Danish, it would be Sonich. I don't know. Applying personalized decorations and blue line flags to their approved uniforms. So they cannot do that in Canada. Ottawa Police, it's also been outlawed in Ottawa and in Toronto. In Iceland, some Icelandic police officer did it, and it became a big controversy. And they issued new regulations in May of 21, banned the adornment of those symbols on. So here's how it's pronounced, actually. Pronounced Saanich. Okay. Let's see. So in the UK, in 2015, police officers in Sussex, England, were instructed by the supervisors to remove a badge from the uniforms with a thin blue line across the Union Jack. It was not part of the official uniform and could be seen as a political statement related to cutbacks in police forces. Oh, okay.
But here in the States, I've never seen it used politically.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't
I've,
seen. Sorry,
I
go
mean,
ahead.
you'll have some politicians backing the blue line, but it's not. It's the same thing as a politician's going backing the steel workers.
Yep, yep. Although I heard some talk about departments that have issued regulations in Riviera Beach, Florida. A group of police officers had the Flynn Blue Line flags on their personal vehicles, and they were ordered to remove them.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, yeah. Nor do I. We had a similar. Uh, well, it's not quite similar. Some acquaintances.
I had to take a political bumper sticker off my vehicle when I was in the military, and I didn't appreciate that at all.
Yeah, some acquaintances of mine that uh, do this motorcycle rally once a year. They got in. Uh, Actually, it was because they actually had. It was a back the blue sticker, maybe a thin blue line flag that was on their motorcycles, and or maybe it was All Lives Matter, which is a different kettle of fish. But one of them was just the blue line thing, and they got in a little bit of trouble for that because they were viewed as doing. It was the accusation was they're being political, so it does happen. Um, in 2020, San Francisco police officer department were forbidden from wearing non-medical face masks with thin blue line symbols while on the job. SFPD Chief of Police Bill Scott said the decision was made in consideration of concerns that some community members have expressed that the thin blue line symbolism on some of our officers may be perceived as divisive or disrespectful. Disrespectful to who? Except,
Depends on what side of the blue line you were on.
yeah.
The protected side or the ones.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of interested, and I'm mildly fascinated by the fact I'm not seeing Seattle on this list.
LAPD is the largest department I've heard of that span the blue line flag.
Yeah, that was just a couple months ago. It says here, January 23,
Yeah.
Los Angeles Police Department banned the use of the flag. Complaint of residents that it represents racist, bigoted views.
And if that's the way the community feels, I don't have a problem with a community expressing the feeling and it being removed from the public vehicles.
Yeah.
Um,
But,
there's
sorry, go ahead.
there's plenty of things that I think should be perfectly legal that aren't, so or appropriate. It's appropriate to me, but not to majority. So hey,
Yeah. Yeah, again, I go back to that thing that the Professor Walker fellow referenced about the change.org poll that only got 1,200 respondents or 1,500 respondents. How many of the community actually felt that it was offensive? Although part of me was about to go into a rant about, because I heard this on, again, the live stream from earlier, that DeCastro was encouraging his viewers to look up local codes and then contact their police departments and try to get the thin blue line flag banned. And I was about to go on a rant about that he was encouraging carpetbagging, but actually no, he wasn't. For he was being very very specific about encouraging people to be active in their communities, which I don't necessarily.
Yeah, it's him misrepresenting the ability to use the Hatch law. Didn't
Yeah. Uh, I actually was laughing when he was going on about. He was using the example of a sheriff that supported the thin blue line flag running against a sheriff that didn't support the thin blue line flag. The incumbent supported the blue line, and I'm thinking, and I'm going, wait, the way you just described the Hatch Act, the first sheriff couldn't be running for reelection because he's in government. Knowing
yes, no elected official would be able to run for a second term
right, right,
without taking. You have to do one term, and then you could run the next term after that. You couldn't have consecutive terms.
yeah, it was just absolutely ridiculous the way he was interpreting that. Unless he again left out some context on his thought, but I don't think so. I just think the guy
He,
didn't understand the implications of what he was saying. Frankly,
yeah,
let's see. Why? What did Dave say here? One personal and one is mandated uniform can't change. Surprise! Some constitutional law scholar didn't take that up. Well, one is yeah, a bit with their personal vehicles. Yeah, I don't see. Well, it's again like I see law enforcement friends of mine that they have some of them, have actually Black Lives Matter bumper stickers on their cars. That'd be the same thing. They shouldn't be able to put those on their cars. Um, and let's see.
I'm of the opinion that all lives matter, and I say that, and some, oh, you're disrespecting Black Lives Matter. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm just stating I feel all lives should be. Doesn't matter what your skin color is, your profession, anything. Let the
right.
separation in how you're treated be your deeds.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's like I said, I believe yesterday afternoon. This all the approach to race these days is completely backwards from what it was when I was growing up. Because yeah, when I was growing up, it was well, what is that quote? Do you judge a person by the content of the character, not the color of their skin?
Uh, that's
That
that's pretty much the quote.
yeah, that should be the way we should continue to be approaching things. It doesn't matter whether you're black or white or whatever. It shouldn't matter. Um, did you guys cover the other types? I was given one for medical. A face COVID face.
The different color stripes for the like the military is a green line, green line. Fire departments are red line. EMS.
Oh, like these flags?
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, like I was mentioning, these they have one of these in the lobby at Gall's because
I don't see one straight for medical, but
I think they're folding them in here to EMS. Or what color would the medical one be? I mean, white makes sense.
yeah.
Is this? Oh wait. Is that what you're referring to, Dave? And then he said something else here. Guess Chile never read flag regs. These badges aren't not modified flags.
Yeah,
Actually, something that has kind of occurred to me also with these, but I agree they're not modified flags. I mean, it's complete nonsense, but in my opinion, but you can read the flag code if if you pick and choose, if you cherry pick it. Yeah, you can make the argument that anything like the little lapel pins that they like to wear is flag desecration. It's not.
how about how many times you been to 4th of July festivities with flag napkins?
Yeah, yeah. Flag flag paper plates, for crying out loud.
How people treat those the little short flags on the wooden sticks.
Yep. I mean, well, I suppose you could even look at if you're going to be a complete extremist about this, you could look at the people go out on Memorial Day and they put the little flags out on the graves. Do they collect those by the time the sun goes down, or do they stay out overnight?
They stay out for um we we put them out about a week before Flag Day when we do the Veterans Memorial.
Okay.
They're out there for roughly a week before Flag Day, and then they're not picked back up until the next weekend.
That's what I could kind of remembered. I wasn't sure though, because again, if going to be an extremist, isn't that a violation of the flag code? Because isn't the flag supposed to come down or it's supposed to be lit up?
If it was a actual flag we were putting there, but those
Yeah.
those are a miniature representation of what a flag would be.
Yeah. It's like the lapel pin. It's like the paper napkins. They're not actual flags. And yes, this is why the Supreme Court said that the flag code is unconstitutional. Because as long as people can burn flags, they you can make Bottom line, this is not a terroristic flag. It's absolute nonsense. There's nothing that I've seen here that indicates anything other than it's the same fantasy that makes him want to talk about dungeons and torture cuffs and all this other stuff that he brings up. It's like straight up, he's just hysterical. Can people? Oh, what's this? Milton, Connecticut. What is this? Oh, this is a change.org petition. It garnered 1,300 signatures. But was that just relating to that? Was it Florsheim?
I have no idea.
There. Yeah, but this is what he's referring to. That other guy. I just found it here. They said they removed the flag from public view in the police department. Yeah, it's like was it Blue Bear? Is that what he goes by? That was saying that his agency has also taken them out of the public space, but he has one in his office, and people can display them in their own work areas. It sounded like, if I understood it correctly.
Well, he was saying he doesn't wear one on his uniform because he doesn't have anywhere to for the Velcro flag.
Ah, okay.
And he said he did say he had one in his office. I don't remember him saying anything about them taking him down from anywhere.
Okay, I could be wrong. Even when I have it running, the stream is kind of background noise, and I have to be productive, unfortunately, and so I miss details sometimes. And your wife is from Arizona. You have dual citizenship. Only time I ever forget make a point and not get corrected. Okay. So your wife is living up there? You guys go back and forth? Actually, my partner would love to commiserate with your wife if she feels the way she does about the Northwest versus Arizona. In the sense that she absolutely hates it up here, and she misses the desert and the heat.
I loved going out from the Northwest out of civilization.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a big fan of Portland itself. I just found very few like-minded people to interact with.
Yeah, I've actually never been. I've heard that it's turned in the last decade. It's turned into an absolute hellhole. That it was a nice city at once, but it's just gone way downhill. And well, Seattle's the same way. I used to go up to Seattle all the time because the Chinatown up there has some stores I like to visit and go shopping in.
I don't mind liberal views. I can get along with people who have liberal views just fine. It's the people that want to take it to the militant level. I don't like people who want to take the right, the conservative to the militant levels.
Yeah.
I, like most human beings, I tend to stay more towards the center of the.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's at both ends of the extremities, the extremes, political spectrum. It's not a line; it's a circle, frankly. Because listening to left or right, hell, take the names away from some of their quotes, and you won't be able to tell one from the other sometimes. Northwest is liberal with pockets of normality. Actually, I was reading an article about Oregon and how Eastern Oregon, a couple of counties, or maybe it was even 5 counties, several counties were wanting to actually redraw the state line so they could go join Idaho because they're so fed up.
Yeah, I remember that.
West
My cabin actually falls in the zone where they were trying.
Oh, that's an old story. Okay. I saw it referenced in an article, and I
I
thought,
forgot how long. It's been a while. But since I don't live at the cabin, but I own it. My dad gets out there more than I do. But I
he's up
got.
here or out here. You should be able to discuss it and have a laugh and walk. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've actually, hell, my whole life I've kind of had a foot in uh, the sort of military law enforcement area side of things, which tends to skew a little more conservative, and the artsy fartsy creative community, which tends to skew more liberal for pretty much my whole life. Um, and I have friends are way liberal, and the ones that are real friends, that are genuine friends. Yeah, we could have arguments, even in those days where you mentioned you so much as breathe the word Trump and an argument would start. We could have discussions and arguments about things, and we're still friends. And other individuals, uh, tried to basically tried to make sure that I couldn't get contracts for writing jobs and just obnoxious things like that. And fortunately, at that time, I'd already kind of stepped away from the area they were trying to freeze me out of anyway, so it didn't really make a big difference. But yeah, you should be able to talk about political issues and social issues, and whether you laugh or not, you should be friends at the end of it afterwards.
Yeah.
Like I said, and this is what my friendships, when it comes to this sort of thing where we all agree on, is that it's an open exchange of ideas. The more you talk about things, the more you exchange your views, the more understanding, the more thought, and the better off we all are. Um,
Well, no matter who the politician is, I hate how media likes to use these small clips taken out of context and set the narrative for the. Well, with Trump, the conversation he had on the bus before going to the club, it was locker room talking about how the gold diggers in that establishment would allow him to go up and grab a pussy.
mm-hmm.
I listened to that whole recording, and if you listen to it in the entirety, it's what he's trying to say is evident, but the clip they used and the narrative they rolled with it was basically that he just wanted to go in and grope women. And what he said was probably true. If you've ever been into some of the clubs where the very rich would like to go, you've got a class of people that try to get in and they will do anything to latch on.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's actually, and I talked about that a bit in Facebook posts and such, and actually even before that, I'm trying to remember the name of the guy, but there was a political commentator, and God, I forget his name now, but I heard the whole interview. He gave an interview. It's one of the few times I couldn't find anything else to listen to but the Rush Limbaugh show. This was like back. Uh, I thought Rush Limbaugh was funny when there was a Democrat in the White House, but once there was a Republican, he became just marching along with the partisan view, and he was no longer fun to me. But I was listening to him, and this political comment, this conservative commentator was on with him, and he was interviewing him, and he hardly did interviews, and I think that's why I was listening to it. But I heard the interview, and then the next day I heard a quote from this commentator totally out of context, and they turned it around to mean the exact opposite. I think this was 94, I want to say, maybe 95. But that was the first time where it dawned on me that even having been in the media myself, it was, oh my God, they're not actually reporting. They're propagandizing. This is, outrageous.
I miss the old days where they would report the facts and let you come up with an opinion.
Yeah. My my sort of last hurrah as a professional in the journalism field was as a publicist for PBS, a local PBS affiliate. And I'd never been a hardcore journalist. I'd been a feature writer and an A&E writer, but I wrote these press releases in the format of articles. And I had gotten permission from the station manager and the general manager and one of the main sort of producers or director, I forget who it was, the three honchos at the station, to just make up quotes for them, so long as I loaded their quotes down with PBS messaging. So I had these made up quotes in what was flagged as a press release, and it was very obvious I was just, praising whatever show I was promoting. Barney the dinosaur is, the greatest thing to ever come along, whatever. But weekly newspapers all throughout Idaho and Utah and I forget where else it was, but they would pick up these press releases and run them as though they were actual articles with headlines, and some of them had their media writers byline on them. And then because I was doing movie reviews, even after I stopped doing them, I still got press kits sent to me and such, and I'd be reading press kits, and then there's this one guy in Florida, and I'm getting blanking his name, but he was a nationally known movie critic who was basically just taking the press kits, pulling the text verbatim and putting them on the page. So I'm not surprised at the way that our media has turned out, because this started back in the early '90s, and so the journalists, either they're old fogies like me that just have gotten lazy and developed those bad habits, will just take whatever the publicists hands us and run with it, or they're people that have been taught by those kinds of people, and it doesn't bode well. And it doesn't help that we've got people that just pick up a cell phone and start calling themselves journalists, because
Yeah.
I'm getting on my rant here, but or my one of my high horses, but I will admit, back when cell phones first started coming on and everybody had cameras, I was thinking, you know what, and the internet. I said, you know what, the idea of a citizen journalist, I kind of like that idea, that everybody can now go do research, everybody can write an article, and everyone can be part of the process. And when the internet was first starting up, and was futzing around in news groups, that's how long I've been poking around online. I thought it was great. Golden age is coming in. Oh boy, was I.
Um, I think it's yeah. Even if you were to concede to an auditor that they're a journalist, um, journalists get no extra access to information. Um, if you're a member of the press, you might get a press pass for a sporting event and get access, but that's coordinated with the team and whatever press agency you work for.
Yep.
You might be able to get in there as an independent, but I'm willing to bet it wouldn't be that. You better know some of the right people to get that approved.
Yeah. Well, you call the publicist, their front office. You call, yeah, these guys that show up. Well, one recent bit I saw with one of these auditor guys. I forget the context, but there was actually a real camera crew outside of whatever building they were at, and the reporter asked him, so what are you doing here? What's your name? And was trying to talk to him, and he was, I don't answer questions. I don't want to give you my name. No, if you're a journalist, you have no problem saying why you're there.
Well,
In fact, you want to explain why you're there, because that will give you some access, maybe. So, at least that's my view. That's my view on that. I
it
do not
might put the
understand.
person at ease at least and actually talk to you, and you can gather information.
Yep. And in the case of these auditor guys, they like to view themselves as activists. Here's this lady actually probably would have put her mic up and actually interviewed him, for because that's what felt to me like that's what she was going, because I think it was one of these guys that was having some sort of issue with the police department, or
Yeah, she was actually there reporting on his shenanigans, and when he was there, she wanted to interview him. He could have actually put his side of it through,
yep, yeah,
but
okay,
instead
yes,
he, but instead he wanted to be an ass, and well, she still made him part of the story, just not the part he wanted to be.
yep, yes, okay, that's the one, that's the clip. So it may actually have been on your guys's show.
I don't remember where I saw it. I don't think Dan covered it.
Okay.
Um, I remember one back. Ass Elmo tried following actual news team that was being escorted. And they had called up and got an interview scheduled, and they were being escorted in. He
Hmm.
tried to scoot with them, but I'm the press. No, you're not.
Right. Right. Yes. And again, maybe again, it's been 20 years. I could be out of touch, but these people, they have some of them have an audience. I, Part of me is thinking if they would pick up the phone and call and say, "Hi, I want to interview so and so. Can you schedule some time?" It might happen, but they're not.
Yeah, it just I've been able to get a hold of a couple of PAOs, public affairs officers,
Mhm.
or public information officers, depending on what the department wants to call their person that will speak to the public about some of the frauditors in my local area. So trying to get statements, and I really want to interview one of those police officers, but the PAO would talk to me about it, but I couldn't. The police officer couldn't. I mean, their strict policies against their officers talking directly to, and they considered, even though I was just going to use it for a YouTube video, that
Mhm.
was still press enough that they, nope, you can talk to
Yeah,
the information officer, but that's it.
yeah. I have friends that are in various agencies around, and yeah, same thing. If you would ask them something, they have someone that's designated. No, you're going to have to contact Lieutenant so and so or Captain so and so, and
Yeah, and my interview with the or my conversation with them just wasn't what was going to work for what I wanted to do for my YouTube video, so I just abandoned the idea.
right. Hey Kelly, how you doing this fine morning? Which I should
Okay,
probably
like,
wrap this up in about 10 minutes because, or I'll hate myself tomorrow.
yeah, I'm at that point where I'm not sure whether I'm gonna. I might just go out to breakfast and then catch a nap and then wake, get back up.
Yeah, that's my difficulty is, and I think I've mentioned this before, that I have a weird kind of work schedule where uh, it's kind of the middle of the day, but I have meetings in the morning, and I take care of the various side projects I have in the morning as well. Uh, so the work day for me starts like at 10 o'clock and goes till 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, basically. But fortunately, I'm not going all day. Part of the job involves, you know, you have to hurry up and wait.
Yeah, I'm retired, so I don't have any schedule I have to maintain. I do some volunteer work, but I do that on my schedule. Also, I don't volunteer to be there before noon.
Yeah,
So the only time I have something I have to be at before noon, it's a medical appointment.
yeah. I generally tell people that my heart isn't beating before 10 a.m. So don't bother contacting me. And yet still, like, we'll get phone calls from mostly people that are like overseas or back east or somewhere that don't quite recognize or realize, oh, you're not
Oh,
in you're not in Maine, or wait, we thought you were in Washington. Yes, Washington State. Oh, I'm sorry. That's
only
happened.
3 hour difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in the central time zone when I call. My dad's still in the Portland area, so a lot of times I'm like, oh, I'll give him a quick call in the morning. But oh wait, no, it's only 5 o'clock there, so no.
Yeah. No, I've got probably another 10 years or so before, or 15 years before I'm going to be retiring. Unless I, get that winning lottery ticket.
Um, My health issues didn't give me a choice.
Oh, I'm sorry. It sucks.
Yeah.
Um,
Part of life.
yeah. Company left. The airport not quite awake. All right. Well, you actually came on, like I said, just as I'm having to wrap things up. But I think we can all agree on that the superficial research that I've done here makes it very clear that the thin blue line flag is not terroristic if you're a rational human being. It's not a terrorist symbol. Hell, let's actually do one more bit of research. I'm sorry, go ahead, Hank.
The only people it should terrorize is the people on the wrong side of the law.
Yeah. So I put in terrorist flag, and oh, yeah, look what I get. I get the Al Qaeda flag.
Or the ISIS flag.
Sorry, what
Depending on.
did I say? Al Qaeda? Oh, yeah, I meant ISIS. But yeah, that's the ISIS flag.
Well, ISIS, Al Qaeda, tomato, tomato. When Al Qaeda swapped, my understanding, Al Qaeda just swapped names to ISIS.
Yeah, yes, somewhat. But I completely misspoke. Although this is my all-time favorite terrorist flag. Might as well bring that up. See if it's still available. Yes, it is. I had this banned on Facebook when I put this up there. Oh, it's not the actual flag. It's worse. It looks like a prayer mat. All right, it degrades. Can't find one that's high enough resolution, but it's the ISIS flag, except it's all sex toys.
Oh.
The Facebook algorithm didn't like that. They took it as the ISIS flag. But yeah, there's a terrorist flag right there. That's a real terrorist flag.
And I hate when people hijack emblems into their. Like you've got the alt-rights that have taken the Gadsden flag.
Yeah. That actually just that confused me because as a kid, I remember actually some military people having that flag around, and so when I came back to the States, and then increasingly was talked of as some sort of extremist racist symbol, I was scratching my head until I did research because yeah, the don't tread on me should not, to me at least, should not be something that people would view as controversial or. But then I didn't realize that it had been appropriated by, quite frankly, weirdos.
Yeah.
And that's, I believe, just a Saudi Arabian flag, I think. Wait, no, it's not. That's ISIS. No. Who the hell is that? Is that in Saudi Arabia? No, here's Saudi Arabia. I'll have to do more research. I don't know why that came up in my Google search. Oh. Stop mixing up Arabic flags. Guides for lazy journalists. Like me, that were just doing a Google search and trying to figure out what I was looking at without even really looking at it. The Taliban, okay. That's what that was. Anyhow, sorry.
Well, to me, a terrorist on the state national flag is a terrorist flag.
They have a flag?
Yes, they take the American flag and the stripes, instead of going left to right, go up and down.
Oh, that's like one of the early colonial flags, isn't it?
I don't see what the flag I'm referring to.
Let's see, state national. Let's see. No, these are just state flags I'm getting. What's this? Original United States flag. No, that's not the original United States flag. Let's see. What's another word for those people? Well, let's try this. Maybe Soviet flag? Nope, Soviet flags. Now you got me curious. Here we go. Is this it?
Close. That's one of them. The one I most commonly see, it's still got a blue field where that's in white stars.
All right, let's see what else we have here. There's a "Don't Tread on Me" flag. What on earth? All right, that's nothing. That's just the distress thing, civil flag. So usually you see this with a blue field where the stars are. The stars are still white.
I've seen them both ways.
Okay. Huh. Well, it makes sense they have a flag. It just never even occurred to me that they did. United States civil flag. Huh. Yeah, United States civil flag of peace. Oh, here it is. Nope. Funny how the little picture doesn't reflect what happens when I click on it. Civil peace flag. All right, well, that's interesting. Oh, well, here you go. This has got to be, that's the flag they use, right?
That looks like a flag of hate.
Ah. All right. Well,
somebody's going to hear that and think I was serious.
Yeah, there's going to be clipped out of context right there. Oh my gosh.
Well, some people never. It's like they've never heard of the satire. It's like, yeah.
That's something else that makes me sad for the future. It seems like over the last 10, 15 years that people's sense of humor has withered and died. Or even the ability to irony has kind of gone away. Which is a terrible thing. But anyhow, as I said, I'll hate myself in the morning if I don't go away, if I don't call this a night. Thank you, Hank, for coming up. I like interacting with people, and I guess the audio was okay throughout this whole thing.
It sounded fine to me once I got my audio. Whatever issues you had when I first came up, and then I had to switch my audio up to be recognized on here.
Okay. Kelly or Dave, whoever it is that's still here, have you had any audio issues? I'm asking just because I want to know whether I fixed the problem or whether, because I guess, yeah, Hank, you're kind of in the same bubble that I'm in if you're going in through Restream, so you probably would hear it just fine. Because everything sounds fine to me, even when it's completely broken up and oh, there's a cat now. Oh, yeah, I know. Even the cats are saying go to bed. All right. Oh, conspiracy is here. Good. It's been good all along. All right, perfect. Maybe I've solved the problems. And I'll have to do another one of these at some point. Thank you guys for hanging out. And again, Hank, thank you so very much for coming up and putting in your 2 cents worth.
Oh, no problem.
We learned things today. And
Good conversation is always a good thing.
Yeah. And just to end this on a note of negativity, we've confirmed that the constitutional law scholar is full of crap and doesn't know what he's talking about half the time.
Giving him credit.
What's that? Oh, about half the time.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I said, I'm an optimist. Try to give people credit. Yep. Good night, Kelly. And conspiracy, you have a great day as well. And thanks again to you, Hank. And I will talk to everybody later.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.